The Ravens Flock presents The Black Files, an uncensored interview and review podcast for all geek fandom.
Welcome, one and all. Welcome, welcome, welcome. It is Wednesday. It's been a little bit of a while. Don't call it a comeback because we've been here for years. We've been here for a long time. And now we're here with another round, with another episode, a brand new episode of The Black Files.
Hello, everyone. It has been quite some time since we sat down to discuss the darker aspects of the wonderful pop culture that we find ourselves in. Thank you kindly for taking the time to sit down and listen to the usual three dumbasses screaming about other equally dumb stuff on the internet. How y'all doing today?
Welcome, everybody.
I'm doing great, and yeah, it's been far too long since we had an episode of The Black Files where we ran a piece of shit to the ground.
Welcome, everybody, to the uncensored podcast of the Ravens Flock. This is called The Black Files. My name is Juan Arauz. This is my show. I take front and center on this one. Joining me via Zoom over here on the lower, left-hand corner? Yep, of the screen. I've got our usual suspects. I've got Jose Casabona there with his baby face emoji, which is weird and off-putting. Why would you do that?
You know what? It's 2022. I'll be sure to update it when I can.
You're not updating it. You're
He's
just
going to
keep
he's going to make it even uglier. Just dive into the uncanny valley a bit longer, don't you?
Don't give me ideas.
No, that sounds about right. And, of course, that sultry, thickly accented voice that you hear is the host of Los Amigos Play, the living it of the Ravens Flock, Angel Mendez here.
Hello, everyone. It is good to be here again, and I look forward to seeing you next weekend as well. Hope you're having a wonderful Wednesday. We are here to lighten up the redheaded stepchild of the week with some actual interesting news.
Yep. And before we actually go ahead and jump into this, we are live. We're simulcasting as we always do on both our YouTube channel, youtube.com/theravensflock, and our Twitch channel, twitch.tv/theravensflock online. Usually this program runs about an hour and a half, depending on the subject, depending on how much we discuss things. And of course, since we are live, we also will be taking reading off the comments for everyone on the Twitch and YouTube streams. So go ahead and leave comments. Go ahead and subscribe to us. Hit the notification bell if you haven't already. I do want to give one minor shout out to a person who commented on us earlier this week, who enjoyed an older episode of ours. They're a person called The Special Snowflake. Literally, they were looking over an old episode of ours when we were discussing the Squid Games show, along with the crash of Facebook. I don't know if you guys remember that episode.
I remember that episode.
Yes, that one time that both Ada and Reddit shit the bed so hard, terabytes of old data were lost forever. Fun times.
Yeah,
actually, no, it was Facebook, WhatsApp, and Instagram that were all crashing. You remember? And
there we go.
The only way that they could actually unlock it was going in using the Facebook app, and that was horrible and dumb. This person,
they had to send people in person to the building.
This person, the Special Snowflake, they actually loved your shameless plug of the Ravens Flock phone case, Angel. To which we simply
the soul of a merchant.
To which we graciously offered them our promo code, which is Road to 1K on our Teespring store. That's in the that Teespring store link is in the description over here. But I'm gonna go ahead and put that link up on the YouTube chat. And I'll also leave our promo code, which is 20% off, and it's the Road to 1K, because we're halfway there. We're halfway to our goal of 1,000 subscribers. Can you believe that? It's wild. I love it. And
we have grown so strong. Our numbers are so big,
and we couldn't be more thankful to all the subscribers and the viewers here who are tuning in tonight and who tune into us every single week whenever we discuss stuff on the Ravens Flock. That's why we're showing our gratitude by giving a discount on our merch store. So go ahead, check it out, show some love, show some support, spread the word of the Ravens Flock if you haven't already. What the heck is wrong with you? Why would you not do that? But I think that's enough preamble over here. Actually, give me a moment. Let me go ahead and get the promo code out here.
Yeah, you do. You go ahead and do that, man. And and I want to add to that. And yes, along with reaching over 500 subscribers on YouTube, we've also hit 600 likes on our Facebook page. So that's also good.
Yep, that's Facebook.
You have our sincerest thanks.
That's Facebook.com/TheRavensFlock. That is our very first social media. That's where we got started 10 years ago. We migrated over here to YouTube in order to stay ahead of the curve as best as possible and stuff. So, we try, and we're appreciative of everyone tuning in. And like I said, I guess that's enough preamble for now. That's enough lovey-dovey stuff. Let's get down to the nitty-gritty.
Yeah, let's start throwing stones.
Oh yes, no. It's a good thing we're throwing stones coming straight out of our concrete house.
Angel, you got your bag of stones with you?
Yes, I got the rocks. See, a wise bearded man once time said that he who is without sin cast the first stone. Unfortunately, I got plenty of sins, but I got more stones than I got sins. So I like to think it evens out a little bit,
Yeah, I suppose, the law of mathematical averages says that at some point everyone's going to sin.
Exactly.
And,
I'm doing it right now.
Yeah, no, for real.
Do you think those are pants you're wearing?
Oh no, they're blended fabrics. Truly, I must be a heathen. No. No, the obviously what we're dealing with here is this motherfucker, this fucking guy. And this has been again, like I promised. I promised to God, I promised to you, the viewers, the folks who are watching us on the on this channel. I promised everyone and their mother that we were not going to use the Black Files anymore to cover this degenerate piece of crap, Gregory James Daniel, aka Gregory James Jackson, a.k.a. Gregory James Averill, a.k.a. James Jackson, but best known to the world at large as Onision. I promised I wasn't going to cover this.
Names and increasingly doing life.
Yeah, no, like I explained why he's got so many aliases, why he has so many legal names, right? I explained that to y'all before, right?
Yeah.
The fucking idiot.
He's trying to escape.
He tries so badly to hide from his past, to escape his stupidity, to escape the shitbed that he made for himself over the course of over 10 years of himself on YouTube, and he refuses to lie in this bed. He refuses to take it.
Indeed.
And
it's like hearing Apollo Creed and all the different titles he's given in Rocky 4.
No. Wait, what?
Jesus
no.
Christ, come on.
No, don't insult
Creed
Apollo Creed like that.
cool.
Apollo Creed did not. No, listen here. Apollo Creed did not give his life for our country and for our democracy against the evil Ivan Drago for you to compare him to this shit pile Onision, okay? So you apologize to Apollo Creed.
Yeah.
You apologize to him right fucking now, Jose.
Okay, Juan, I apologize. Jeez, don't pick a fight with your brother.
No. Apologize to Apollo Creed. Say Apollo Creed, beautiful, star-spangled man with a plan. Beautiful, retired heavyweight champion of the world who helped Rocky Balboa see the eye of the tiger. I apologize to you on behalf of my stupidity. I compared you to a filthy YouTube pedophile, and I shouldn't have done that. I want you to fucking say that. You need to fucking say that now,
Hang
Jose.
on. Juan, are you gonna let me apologize? Or
Are
you
you
gonna
gonna
apologize for me? Because so far you did a great job.
Are you gonna?
Yes.
Do it.
Yes. Then. Apollo Creed, I sincerely apologize for comparing you to Onision. You did not deserve that. You are a true legend. You are Apollo Creed. You are the heavyweight champion of the world. You are lightning fast and hard to catch. You are the king of Sting. You are the master of disaster. And you are the best.
He gave his life so we would fight off against the evils of communism. He is not to be underestimated. Now, the thing is, Apollo Creed is actually remembered for the wonderful things he did and his beautiful performance in the movies. Onision, on the other hand, seems to be a person that, once again, struggles with the ever-encroaching tide of irrelevancy. After the last few years, he sort of faded into the background after his ill attempt to obtain monetization on Twitch was shut down in what is considered to be one of the few, if only times, that the Twitch department did something right in their life. After that, he just sort of coasted into relevancy until he tried to start shit with Chris Hansen, which led to the ever so hilarious scene of him running away with his tail between his legs.
Hiding out in his own house.
We thought that would be the end of that. Exactly. We thought that would be the last time we would hear from him. We thought that he was going to disappear into the ocean of irrelevancy like ever so many lol cows that we have heard of. But unfortunately, it seems that that is not the case. And like an ever so infectious weed coming out of my garden to fuck with my tomatoes, this guy can't seem to stay down. Please, Juan, let us know, to what is this ever so deplorable individual getting into now?
All right, putting it simply, and I'll give us a proper recap of Onision after I explain what's going. Yeah, I'll give us a proper recap of this guy. Basically, he was one of the first early YouTubers back in 2000 and I would say 2008, 2007.
Yeah.
And
I'd say 7. He was on a little bit before Bayonetta came out.
Yeah, and this guy was basically one of the first LOL XD random YouTubers. He would come up with skits and silly shit that he would put out. He fancies himself a musical artist. He fancies himself an author. He's written three, I suppose you can call them books, but they're all the same story and they're all shit. I won't get into the whole...
There were a lot of words on a lot of paper, but I'm not sure if I can call those things books.
I don't.
I could try, but it feels like I'm insulting the medium if I say that, you know?
Yeah, no, I certainly do not call them books. Not by a mile, and not because there's anything particularly unworthy of them. It's just that they're really shitty. It's just that they're really badly written. And of course,
very Hedgehog the Cold Steel fan fiction.
And his music, if you can call it that, all sounds like the same crap. He tries to come up with he had one big claim to fame. Like I said, this was back in the early days of YouTube when it was still the Wild West and it was still there was almost no regulation. Basically, him and the wife that he had at that time, who, let's face it, was clearly the head of the operation, made a song called "I'm a Banana," where he would basically repeat how he's a banana, wearing a banana suit, jumping around XD random stuff. So silly. It was so silly. It was so great. It garnered millions of views, and people got to see it on Tosh.0, and that's how he got his claim to fame, and people started seeing him. And then we started to get to know the guy.
Yeah.
They started to find out.
If he would have simply remained by that, he would have been just another internet personality, another lolcow that does dumb shit online for views. There would have been millions like him before, and there'll be millions like him. And honestly, if the story had ended there, the world would have been a slightly better place to live. But it doesn't end there, doesn't it, Juan?
Unfortunately, no, it does not end there. Quite unfortunate here. See, the other bit that this guy prides himself in is his propensity of... He calls himself this. Nobody fucking calls him this. He claims to be one of the most honest, if not the most honest YouTuber ever.
Honesty on the internet. Don't be oxymoronic.
Yeah, which is hysterical when you consider all the crap that he tries to do to go out of his way to both put his personal life front and center in a lot of his shit, and then is shocked, chagrined, and appalled when people criticize him for being a shitheel in his personal life. He had different girlfriends. He had people that he was engaged to that he mistreated. There was a lot of different relationships that he did not treat the women in properly. He got together with his current spouse, who he's been married to for a very long time, when that person was underage, got to know them and got married with them, and quote unquote, oh, they only spoke and stuff, they never did anything. He fucked her while they were underage. Let's not fucking kid ourselves.
And my shoe size isn't fucking size 13, clown feet.
Honk indeed. And much honky was had, as somehow this individual became pathologically unable to understand why people were talking shit to him, despite the fact that he was walking around the playground with his pants around his ankles, for lack of a better term. This was also, if I recall, one of those beginning trends that resulted in essentially him being one of the first symptoms of, we went from don't put your personal information online to here's my entire life and every single psychosis that I have. He was one of the pioneers of that terrible habit that has ruined countless existences right now.
Afraid
so. As you can tell, the man clearly seems to like them a little too young for the comfort of the average human being. And more importantly, he seems to not quite understand that what he did and what he continued to do was in fact wrong. Because a constant in the existence of Onision is the fact that no matter what happens and no matter how bad things get, he will never, under any circumstances, admit that he is guilty of anything. The idea of self-reflection and accountability appears to be a foreign concept to him.
It's like trying to read cuneiform for this guy, the ancient written language of the Babylonians. All he sees is chicken scratchings, and he can't decipher it. That's what.
I feel the need to apologize to the Babylonians now.
Yes, also, I would like to formally apologize to the ancient Babylonians and the originators of cuneiform for comparing this fine yet archaic and dead language to the lack of critical reasoning and self-reflection that Onision displays in real life. So,
you see, folks, we're all being held accountable.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly.
See, I know when to admit when I'm wrong, and I know when to admit when a fallacious and terrible comparison is made. But moving on.
We're two for three. We're 2 for 3, Juan. We're just waiting for Angel to fuck up.
He will.
Oh, give me enough time.
Give him time. He'll do it.
You just haven't seen it yet. Listen, all I project is an image on the screen. The real me is behind several masks that you will never see, because I fear the reality of life.
You're not wrong.
If I ever fuck up, I'll certainly admit that I did. My mama didn't raise no bitch.
No, you're not wrong. She did not. She did not raise a bitch. I will admit to that. And I've met your mother. She's a fine lady. When I can not want to. Okay, yeah. Well, I'm gonna keep my. Pardon me. No, I'm sure you can understand like that.
Angel, you have free range to punch him next time.
You may punch me.
Maybe.
Yes. Maybe. Okay.
Next. No, I'm not going to punch Juan. That would be on Sportsman's Life. Instead, I'm going to go find your mom. I'm going to make friends with her with my smooth Spanish manners, and then she's going to tell me all the embarrassing things about your childhood.
I've already told you all the embarrassing things about my childhood.
But our mom hasn't told him.
Oh, for God's sake. All right, so like everything came to a head for this sack of crap for Greg here. By the way, I'm going to be calling him Greg and or Onision. He insists, because he got his name changed legally so many different times, he insists on being called James Jackson. The reason why he's changed his name so many times is because he can't stand the fact that he's one simple Google search away from the general public that he regrettably has to interact with from realizing what a piece of shit he is in his neighborhood, in his community. Case in point, when he got married to his spouse that he's currently with, who she's clearly underage when they first got together, and this man is like 9 years their senior. They went under the name of Avero. They married under the last name Avero, which isn't anyone's last name, so he's clearly trying to hide shit. And then he changed his name to James Jackson when he had to enroll his 2 children. Yes, this motherfucker supposedly has spawned children of his own, a boy and a girl. We're not going to name them any further, but that will come up later. and he had to enroll them in public school. So you better believe that the Parent-Teacher Association would have a field day if they found out, oh, this James Jackson guy, he's a fucking piece of shit. Maybe we shouldn't allow him near our schools. Maybe, just maybe. But that's not the point that we're getting to.
Maybe we shouldn't allow him near civilization.
Oh, I would very much be in favor of that. I'm going to get to the chat in a minute because we got Jolene, 511 here. Jolene, how you doing tonight? Thank you for joining us. I'm going to get to her. She says, sorry I'm late.
Hello.
Onision, oh, geez. I just watched the documentary on him that's on Discovery Plus. You're going to love this because it actually comes up. The reason why that documentary series, it was, I believe, a 3-part or 4-part series on him that got brought up. Brandon Ogden. Hello again. How you doing tonight, Brandon? Thank you for joining us. Thank you for joining us on the show. Thank you for joining us on the Black Files. And actually, yes, the real kicker on all this was that Discovery Investigations, Investigation Discovery, produced a documentary series about him called Onision in Real Life, which came out as originally a 3-part series, and then it was amended to 4 parts in order to gain more details and more information on his misdeeds.
There was so much scum, we had to extend the movie.
Actually, yes. When it was disclosed after it was discovered in 2019 that this motherfucker gives polyamory a really bad fucking name. This is the kind of motherfucker who takes the title of being in a polyamorous relationship and basically just translates that into, I just want a harem for myself and I want them young so that I can bang them and drop them at the curb because it's a fucking power play for him.
Because I need to feel good about myself.
There's something like primarily disgusting about that kind of attitude towards your partners.
Exactly.
Like, hey man, listen, I know some certain relationships take more work than others, but isn't that no different from just the whole use them and throw them away when I don't feel like it anymore? You know?
Actually, that's
scummy about that.
Actually, yeah, that's pretty much it.
Incredibly scummy.
That's actually pretty much it, and it's absolutely revolting. Basically, there was this one person. I'm just going to bring up her name on this because, well, it's already public knowledge at this point. Her name is Sarah, and she was originally a fan of Onision's spouse, who went by the name of Lanybot at the time, who was also on YouTube, who did like makeup tutorials, life talk, all that very, very soft, very soft content, nothing controversial out of them. And they were initially a fan of Lanybot. They go by Kai now. I'm using this person's different names in the timeline. I'm not dead naming anyone. I'm not trying to no whatever. And it got around to them wanting to be friendly with Lainey, and that the moment Greg got wind of that, he basically went jackpot. He basically I'm gonna have myself another partner for myself. It was a whole slog, and it turned around to basically them being in a 3-way relationship. He claims up and down, left and right, that he wasn't trying to groom this person, that he wasn't trying to mentally or sexually manipulate this underage teenage girl into liking him, into putting up with his psychosis and his bull crap, until she was almost the moment she turned 18. Yes, a couple months after, but pretty much right after she turned 18, he better and deader, better and let shit fall aside and threw her out. It was a godless nightmare. It was all over the documentary, and that was the 4th part of the documentary series that got added on. That was the additional part that was put in because originally
the director's code we never wanted to hear of.
No, yeah, the story of it came from everyone else who was involved in this in the situation, but the added parts of the documentary came in afterwards when Sarah herself came forward to Investigation Discovery and gave the interview herself so that she can have her word, her say, her claim, her voice on this matter.
By the way, please remember, this is all public knowledge. We're not digging out some ancient FBI hidden black box shit here. You can literally Google all of this. It's just out there.
Which is actually hysterical because guess what tomorrow is? Guess what January 20th is going to be?
I don't know. Onision's birthday or some shit?
Oh, you're going to love this.
Oh.
January 20th of the year of our Lord 2021 was the year and was the date. So 1 year ago tomorrow was when it was officially announced by YouTube after the unveiling of this documentary series that Greg Jackson, Onision, was removed from YouTube's partner program. His three main channels, which are Onision, Onision Speaks, and Bro. Those are the three stupid channels. I highly recommend everyone blocks those channels. Don't ever watch them. His stuff is garbage anyway. He basically got which a lot of folks saw that as like the step in the right direction. Like you mentioned earlier, Angel, Twitch actually went ahead and took that foot further and banned him completely. They kicked him off. He's not allowed on Twitch ever again, which is awesome,
Good.
which is the right way.
Cut that shit out.
Which is hysterical because that's the one step that for some fucking reason YouTube still won't do. They demonetize this guy.
To be fair though, YouTube is not exactly known for being very good at anything, really. Let's be honest. What we're seeing here of the monetization
while we're streaming this live on youtube.com/ravensflock, we're shitting on you.
Yes.
Hey, First
Here's
Amendment.
the hand that feeds me. I'm gonna piss all over it.
Hey, First Amendment. We're free to say this stuff, and we're not saying this in a derogatory manner for the sake of crapping on YouTube. We're saying this because it's a stated fact, and we see other platforms taking more appropriate steps in getting rid of this motherfucker, and for some reason, YouTube still won't.
That's because YouTube only does something right, like once in a blue moon. YouTube works on backwards logic. You know the usual broken clock is right twice a day thing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's YouTube. There you have it.
And yet somehow Onision was able to dodge the YouTube radar and came out with this fucking channel that Juan showed me recently.
Yep. It was recently discovered that there is a channel. I'm actually trying to find a way to see if I can share the screen. I'm going to take a moment. I'm going to try to share the screen with the audience, but regrettably, guys, I don't think you're going to be able to see this, but I'll need to take a minute over here.
That's fine with me. I want to see as least of this individual and his content as possible.
While Juan's doing that, I want to point out, guys, I actually want to point out that this is one of the two longest stories that we have followed here on this channel. The other story that we followed the longest is the downfall of Activision Blizzard.
Funny you should mention that.
We're going to bring that up soon here, guys.
We'll bring that up Saturday, but I want to know, I want people to understand, holy crap, we are committed to what we do. We do our due diligence, and we keep a record of everything that's been going on with our stories.
Remember, if it happens on the internet, it stays there forever.
Right,
exactly.
Give me a second.
Speaking of which, while Juan is doing research, have you guys seen the trailer for that upcoming Cuphead animated series?
We're going to check that out. I haven't seen it yet, but I'm going to check that out, and we are going to talk about it this Saturday on the Ravens Flock Live, folks.
I'll send it to you. It's hilarious.
Yeah. Whoop. That's not the one I want to show. Give me a minute.
Juan says as he desperately throws us away and closes a million incognito tabs.
Sorry, chat. Give me a moment. I'm over here trying to find the right window over here.
Take your time. Take your time.
Yeah. Meanwhile, while you're doing that, a lot of comments are popping up here on the live chat.
Go ahead
and read them off.
Tell us what our beloved listeners are saying.
Let's see. Hello again, Jolene 511. He's gross, legit, just gross. I felt so bad for that teenager he hooked in. And Sarah speaks, yes. And a comment from Brandon Ogden. I'm listening. Interesting. Rod Hound says, "Hey y'all."
How you doing, Rod Hound?
Yes.
Thanks for keeping up with the comments, Zay. I do appreciate that. All right.
Yeah, and some back and forth between Brandon and Rod. I agree. From Brandon, I agree. Onision's content is garbage. From Rod, rant time. This is a common theme, unfortunately. And finally, from Brandon, all of his meltdown videos were taken down by his Bro and Onision Speaks channels. And finally,
I wish those were there.
And Nora Otaku has popped on and saying, "We don't talk about Greg." Oh no. I'm sorry. She put
"We don't talk about Greg." Oh no. We don't talk about Greg.
Unfortunately, we have to.
Angeline 511 commented, "You guys have amazing radio voices. Thank you so much. I really do appreciate that. That is something that we've been complimented on a lot. Thank you so much."
All right. So for folks who are watching live, I'm literally trying to do some adjusting over here. I didn't set up the split screen properly, so take this for what it's worth. All right. So you see this little weird channel, this weird little thing. It's got 498,000 subscribers. It's called Archive. It's the description.
Archive.
Yeah, just Archive. Like, okay,
how clever.
There was this bad Chris Rock joke on his show, Everybody Hates Chris. Well, my mom would only buy the generic stuff of everything. She wouldn't buy his cookies. She would buy Cookie. It was like a plain white wrapper with just in impact font the word Cookie on there. So this is Archive, a channel dedicated to awesome songs, funny videos, and even books. Remember to subscribe and turn on notifications to see the latest. Thank you for being amazing. Stay wonderful. Which would be fucking fine. This looks like it's a kids channel. It looks like it's something that's meant for the younger viewers, except two things. Number one, okay, I'm not a robot. Check out the business inquiries email address. onisionsmanager@gmail.com. This is public knowledge. This guy puts this out for himself. See, we know that this is we know for a fact that this is, in fact, an older channel of his because he started it back in 2008. And if we're
that old, huh? So how long has that been there?
Apparently, it's been this channel's been on here for a while. Now, if you take a look at this crap, you see the videos that he's put out. There's is it a knife or a banana? You could tell that it's him. You can tell it's fucking him. He's called this damn thing the Potato Song. Good fucking God. And what's even crazier about all these is, okay, number one, for a dude who's such a prolific and grand, most wonderful YouTuber ever of all time, he put this video out 11 days ago, and for a video, for a channel of his stature, for a guy of his stature, this motherfucker only has 532 views on that channel, on that video. Number one,
it
that's
occurs to me
pathetic.
that the reason that he named it Archive is because he doesn't want to be named Search, but he still kept the email because he's essentially counting on the fans that actually like him to be the only ones that follow him. In essence, unable to escape the spotlight, but he's still trying to remain in a safe space, his own safe space.
Would you like to see?
Because that way, nobody can find him by name,
Blah.
but they can find him only if they are actively looking for him.
I think, Angel, I actually want to interject and say, like, you know what? I think this is both. I think this is a way for him to have a safe space, and B, this is like his last ditch effort, like desperately trying to find some way to make money on social media.
See, that's the real
thing, though.
That's the real punchline here. Would you like to see the punchline? Would you folks like to see the punchline on this?
Go for it.
All right. I clicked on that disgusting, stupid video that he's got, the Potato Song, because he can't come up with anything more original than making songs about food items, apparently. It's not a banana, so he's making a potato song. Oh, he's so innovative. In 10 years, he's evolved from bananas to potatoes.
Give me an Angel some time. I'm pretty sure we can make a better song about Oreos.
Sounds to me like by appealing to something as simple as the very existence of good old veggies and shit, sounds like this man is trying to make memes. But it doesn't work because intentional memes seldom work.
But
sounds
that's
like
not the punchline.
Do you think that he's trying to make the next shark song?
He might be. That wasn't the punchline.
Okay, Juan, if that's not the punchline, what is the punchline?
Here's the punchline. Okay, first off, I apologize to everyone for having to be subjected to this god-ugly animation. For everyone looking at this, take a close look. He's got this thing keyed specifically for children in order to have this rank on YouTube Kids. He's trying to make his content for the explicit sole purpose of marketing it to kids, to underage children.
Wonderful.
So just
wonderful.
Try to walk with me here on the fucking mental gymnastics that must have occurred to try to justify this action.
Also, aren't children like marketed channels not able to be monetized?
Oh no, but they do drive the algorithm for him. He's trying to drive the algorithm and trying to link them over to his other channels. Start them off young, get them hooked in, get them to find out. Oh hey, this guy created this video that I loved growing up. Let me see what else he's done as I grew up. Oh wow, he's got such cool and edgy content. This is all so cool. Oh wow, he has a Discord. He has a website where I have to pay in order to even go in. Oh, maybe I should go ahead and grab my parents' wallet.
The paid website.
Oh yeah, no, he's fucking pathetic. This guy's basically think of this. Gregory James Jackson, Onision. A guy who has reached notoriety on the internet explicitly for being accused of grooming and sexually abusing underage teenage girls, decides, you know what's a really good career move? Making content for kids. That's a really great career move. Nobody will ever think that that's fucking suspicious. Nobody will ever think that that's not a fucking gateway to try to drive more underage victims his fucking way.
You took the words right out of my mouth, Juan. I was going to make the same comment that, like, basically the YouTube channel that he made, marketing to kids, is a gateway to get the kids hooked on his materials, to get the kids hooked on his content, and for the kids to offer him support. And yes, that does include money.
Of course, it includes money. All of his fucking ventures are linked to money. Now, he can't make any monetization off of YouTube Kids, and he can't get himself set up in the partner program anymore on his original 3 channels. Remember, it was only 3 of his channels that he got removed from the partnership program for. Uh-oh, bro, Onision Speaks, and his main Onision channel. Those 3 gone, not able to be monetized ever again. But that doesn't necessarily preclude YouTube from looking at Archive, the Archive channel. This is so inoffensive. This is so bland and vanilla. This is so minimal and small. Let's go ahead and see if this can get monetization. This motherfucker is trying, and you better believe it's only a matter of time before he tries and pull the trigger on that, and when he does, you better fucking believe it's going to be a shitstorm. It is going to be a disgusting shitstorm. And I promise you, I will be at the forefront of that shit, because this motherfucker got removed from being monetized from YouTube for a reason. He got removed because he harmed an underage teenage girl sexually. He sexually abuses women. He is an emotional, mental, and sexual predator. This has been proven. There are tons of texts. There's tons of evidence that it was presented, not just in the Discovery documentary series, but in testimonies of other women who have come forward about this guy. They show texts, and this motherfucker doesn't know how to obscure himself. He doesn't know how to hide himself from this stuff because he's a fucking narcissist. He wants people to see him. He wants people to know that it's him doing shit because he wants to be seen and known.
He believes in his own shit. He believes in his own hype.
Little does he realize that
what he's being selling, but the rest of the world does not. And in fact, in a surprising twist of irony, us discussing this is pretty much the most attention he will most likely ever get out of this mess.
I sincerely hope so, because I was honestly starting to rest easy. I was honestly starting to be at peace a little bit. Like I'm not going to mince words. I'm not going to freaking, because this is the Black Files. We could talk candid. We could talk about our personal shit. That shit doesn't matter. What matters is telling the truth. And the truth is, I've got a lot of serious mental issues. I've got fucking a chronic pain that I've got to deal with for the rest of my life. And the last thing I needed was to continue trying to stay on top of this motherfucker. And I was honestly starting to breathe a little easy at the end of last year. He's like, okay, I'm starting to get medication. I'm starting to get better with myself. I'm losing weight. I'm getting better. I'm on medication that's helping me. I'm getting my life straight. I had more important shit to deal with than this motherfucker. And then this shit comes up. So what the fuck? And anyone who's watching who probably has any sort of thinking like, well, Juan, if it's such a detriment to your life, if it's such a hassle, why do you continue? Why do you continue fucking worrying about this fucking YouTube pedophile, fucking YouTube son of a bitch, Onision? Why bother with him? Because he's a fucking monster. You very rarely come across actual fucking monsters in your life. This is one of them. I was perfectly at peace in my blissful ignorance before knowing about this guy. But once I learned about it, I knew that I could not abide his filth, his brand of stupidity. I could not abide the general sense of this guy for a minute longer, which is why I dedicated myself to staying on top of his antics, staying on top of his bullshit. I work with other like-minded people who I will not name because I'm not a snitch. And I have basically made an effort to go out of my way. If there's anything that I could do to help keep him away from other underage girls, that he's clearly hasn't lost his taste for the shit. Look at the fucking content he's making. He's trying to get other kids to come watch him so that he can start getting engaged with them again. It's clear that he hasn't learned his fucking lesson. It's clear that this guy is trying to build up a pool of future potential victims, and I'm not going to fucking stand for it. And if anybody who's watching or anybody who's got a problem with that and they wants to actually fucking say anything about it, wants to try to shit on me about it, look at yourself in the fucking mirror first. Check your fucking moral compass. I may be an internet asshole. I may have loose flexibility in terms of people that I associate with and trust, but I have a fucking moral code. One of the things at the very top of my moral code is you don't fuck underage teenage girls. This motherfucker does it, and he seems to have no fucking problem with it, and that shit is fucking wrong. Point blank, period, wrong. I don't care what the fuck world you live in. So I'm gonna fucking drag his name through the fucking mud. I'm going to drag his fucking channel through the dirt. If he tries to get his shit monetized, I will go through heaven and hell to fucking get that shit demonetized right back again where it fucking belongs. Because we know for a fact that the YouTube police doesn't fucking work the way they're supposed to. Because if they did, they would have pulled a page out of Twitch's book, and they would have fucking pulled his channels for good. Banned his ass from their platform. Make it so that he could never use YouTube or any Google platform to try to prey on underage teenage girls ever again.
But the numbers, though.
Fuck
That's
the numbers.
Unfortunately the way that shit works. And in a better world, in a kinder world, such an individual would have simply disappeared into the dank depths of the internet, never to be heard of again until you find his dead body in a ditch somewhere after a car accident or some shit like that.
Oh,
But
I
sadly,
wish.
it appears that there are ways to circumvent the system, and his obsession with trying to stay on the spotlight, to get that engagement he so craves, he will once again attempt to do so, because people like him, more than anything else, seem terrified of being forgotten. Need to be the center of attention. Need to be on the spotlight. Me, mine. It's the only thing going to someone like that's mine.
Pretty much. And adding to what Angel said, like, it's also like his fucking mentality. He is so convinced in his mind that everything that he cannot do any wrong, that everything he's doing is 100% right, that he doesn't care and he doesn't pay attention to the fucking damage that he leaves behind.
No, you're right. That narcissism of his is a double-edged sword. He wants people to know who he is. He wants to be seen. He wants to be heard. He wants his fucking attention. He wants his spotlight. He wants his fucking name written in the stars. And yet when people are talking about him for all the wrong fucking reasons, he fucking runs, hides, changes fucking name, sells his fucking swamp house that he had to fucking, like, oh, there was this whole fucking thing where he fucking messed up on the fucking protected wetlands that was owned by the fucking county behind the house that he used to live in, because he fucking rented a bobcat, he rented a fucking bobcat, like,
What kind of Tiger Joe nonsense is that?
Not an actual bobcat. The fucking construction machine.
Oh, okay.
In order to plow shit
like,
out of his
fuck.
backyard, and he dumped it into the wetland marsh behind his house. That was government and municipal property. So he fucked up. He repaid that shit with the minimal effort because he's a lazy sack of shit. And the moment he got that done, he fucking sold the house. He had to fucking move out. And it's even more hysterical when you consider that house is also the site where, I hate bringing up this thing, but since we mentioned how he put his children into public schooling, how he had a situation where his infant daughter, who was 2 years old at the time, had apparently fallen out of the second floor window of her room in their house. Fallen out, hit the driveway, and was banging on the garage door where he has his studio set up, aka his man cave, which is a man cave because anytime you see the studio in there, you see a bed right there behind him, and you see his shit, you see his freaking his misshapen stuff. I know that we see our living room behind us over here, but to be fair, that's my fucking living room. There's the difference, but like he has a fucking separate room where he can live with his family, with his wife, with his spouse, with his kids. But apparently he prefers to live in a fucking man cave. And she was banging on the fucking garage door, and he didn't realize it until maybe 30 or 40 minutes after. And that's when they called the police. And the first thing that he did, instead of calling an ambulance or trying to comfort his daughter, is he grabbed a camera and started recording his daughter, who was crying and screaming in pain like a fucking idiot.
Think about that for a second. Your child is injured, horribly injured. Depending on her age, those injuries could either cause permanent damage or leave her crippled or outright kill her. And the first thing in your mind is clout. I want you to
not
take
clout.
a second.
Not clout. He didn't do it for clout.
Why the fuck else would you do something like that?
He did it to cover his ass. He did it to try and get plausible deniability. He did it so that CPS doesn't come knocking on his door and actually take his children from him, and actually probably put them in a home with actual parents that might give a shit about him. There's a whole nother drama about how much of a
safety of that kid.
Yeah, and she has an older brother, and they're both. It's a whole sad story. I'm not going to get into that stuff. I'm not going to shit on children. That's wrong. We don't need to make 3 more episodes of this now. No, not really. No, I want so fucking badly. To not have to do another one of these for the Black Files, and another one of these of Onision, but I'm pretty sure I'm going to, because this motherfucker won't leave. I want to get to the comments on the chat real quick on the YouTube chat.
Yeah, I'll read them out for you guys. Don't worry. This one is from Noro Otaku in big cap letters. Don't you dare touch anything hates Chris.
Everybody hates Chris.
Everybody hates Chris. You gross blooming onion.
Rodhound. Archives, like something we will shred in 8 years, LOL. Ha.
And another one from Noro Otaku. Oh God, no, not the potato song.
Yeah, Rodhouse said, yes, he's a starch meme expert. Jolene saying it sucks that people who have no proof against them suffer and get roles taken away from them and their lives are ruined, but then douchebag assholes like Onision just slither on by. Shake my head. Rodhouse, no, the YouTube reporting thing doesn't work. Exactly, it's numbers. Whoop, I kicked the camera.
I wish it wasn't, but YouTube is basically staffed by code monkeys. As in, these are monkeys made of fucking zeros and ones.
Yep.
Like I said, they doing something right is... once in a blue moon.
It's
hey, look, it's the hand that feeds me. I'm going to bite the shit out of it.
Oh, please don't bite that hand.
Another comment from Noro Otaku. I was pissed when he recorded his daughter while she was injured. I believe he pushed her off.
There is...
I still cannot believe that shit.
That's a theory, and it's one I don't put a lot of stock in, only because this motherfucker just... okay, he's crazy and he's a fucking filthy pedophile, but throwing his daughter out the window was the first and easiest way to get himself fucking thrown in jail for the rest of his life. And he already despises dealing with men because men don't put up with his shit. He despises.
The worst part is that even if he did, I would not be surprised if that was the case.
Despi-
Like, I don't believe he did, but if he did, I would not be surprised, and that's the part that worries me the most.
Yeah, that's a really fucked up part. You're not wrong, Angel. Like, he doesn't deal with women, with grown ass women, because they see through his bullshit. So, and he doesn't deal with boys because he's so totally fucking straight, even though his spouse is non-binary and identifies male, and so he's like, oh, so that makes me a gay man. So because my spouse identifies as he, him, so I'm gay. I'm part of the LGBT community. Don't hate me, or you're homophobic. No, he's not. He's not fucking gay. He likes vagina.
Every time that
it's proven that he likes fucking vagina because he tries to fuck underage ones.
Every time that this man tries to step outside of his usual comfort zone is only so he can add another layer of protection to his comfort zone. So after all, if the cloud is on his side, nobody can hurt him. Well, except himself. Except
for his own damn self. No, yeah, that's exactly it. So the only people that he'll put up with, that even come close to putting up with this shit, are underage teenage girls, because that's what he likes. That's the demographic that he wants to stick his dick in. And like I mentioned, this isn't even like an accusation. This isn't even fucking like trying to defame him or fucking like sully his good name. No, this shit's already been proven. It's been documented. There's literally a documentary documenting how badly this guy fucks with underage teenage girls. For fuck's sake.
The literal proof is out there. I still wonder sometimes how this person is not in jail yet. It's weird, but...
Well, believe me, there's a cell waiting for him, and there's a ditch underneath that cell waiting for him about 5 hours after.
Ironically, if he does get big enough that people start to talk about him again, he will become well-known enough. And the more well-known he becomes, that means that he's most likely to do something incredibly stupid that will grant him and put him in trouble with the authorities. It's like the constant, it's like the paradox of Catch-22. He wants to be more well-known again, but the closer he gets to the spotlight, the more likely he is to get in trouble because of it. Ironically enough, he was safer when he was slowly fading away into idiotic obscurity.
It also doesn't help his case that more people, victims of Onision, are still coming out and telling more stories about him, basically exposing the guy. Hell, Juan, even at one point last year, you confronted Onision directly on his platform.
Just pause that for a second.
Much to my pride and joy. I know it's silly, and I know that it seems a little petty, a little, but only a little, that I pride myself in having basically walked up to his doorstep digitally and shat on his yard and got away with it. But that's not something that I try to preen my feathers too much on. But yeah, no, I basically sometime last year, I only have the Zoom window clicked off for a minute. I went on to one of his fucking live streams where he had an open invite. Oh yes, I will tell you about that, Jolene. Long story short, he went up on his channel, and this is one of the reasons why I don't think he does live streams anymore, because, well, too many of us actually got into him. I was patiently waiting. It was in the middle of a work shift of mine. And thankfully, I had just enough time in between parts in my work shift to actually confront the dude just in time. And right there on his own channel, on his own stream, I basically went forward. Oh yeah, hey, I'm such a big fan of yours. I'm especially a big fan of how you're a filthy pedophile fuck who grooms underage teenage girls, and your ass deserves to be either behind bars or 6 feet under. You've been ducking my ass for forever, and I've been on him for like since 2018, for Christ's sake, for 4 years now almost.
And he's tried to stop you from talking. He kept interrupting, saying okay.
Oh, where's the proof? Where's the proof? Bring me proof. You don't have any proof. That means you're wrong. I'm right. You're wrong. I'm right. You're wrong. I'm right. I ignored his ass, and I fucking spoke up, and I fucking just kept on saying, like, You abused these women while they were underage. You got away with it because you didn't actually fuck them until they came of age. So, but the fact of the matter is that you're still an emotional sexual abuser. You should be fucking ashamed of yourself. You don't deserve a platform. You don't deserve to be on social media. You deserve to be 6 feet under or behind bars or both. Buried under the jail is one of the expressions go.
Fertilize the ground with his ashes. Make a nice flower bed. Actually,
And
make his remains be productive for something. For
Exactly.
And the only thing that Onision could do was just cut you off.
He cut me off of it, and he booted me from his stream afterwards, and I just clapped along. One of the other things about that was because previously, before that, we had offered him an invitation to come on to the Black Files. He lives on the West Coast. He's 3 hours ahead of time. It's not as if coming on live at 10 p.m. Eastern time would be too much a detriment to him. It's 7 p.m. Pacific time. So he could have done it. He clearly doesn't do anything else in his fucking life. He could have come on, and because we offered an invitation to him to come on live in order for us to speak with him. And the phrasing that we have, and I still love this to this very day because this shows how much of a fucking idiot this guy is. The phrasing for the interview, because I still have this saved, and I hope you'll excuse me as an angel as I pull this up. I have this fucking message saved on Twitter. We messaged him. We told him that we invited him over. And we told him, "Good afternoon, Onision. We invited you to an interview on our podcast, The Black Files, this past Wednesday. The invitation itself was issued to you publicly on the March 13th edition of our flagship show, The Ravens Flock Live. While we anticipated your inability to attend, we regret that you were unable to answer our request for an interview, one which would have been worth $64,000 and included a public apology. At this time, we must inform you that your invitation has expired and may not be extended again. We thank you for your timely response and wish you the best of luck in your future endeavors." Pay very close attention to the phrasing that I used. An interview that is worth $64,000 and included a public apology. Did I actually specify that we were going to pay him $64,000 there? Yes or no? No.
No.
No. No, we did not. We said that the interview is worth $64,000. When I brought that up to him and confronted him about it, like, we had an interview worth $64,000, and then you said no, you didn't show up. What's the matter with that? Why are you ducking us? And that's when he, in his feeble attempt to try and big dog us, like, oh well, you only have like 200 subscribers, and you only have like a couple thousand views. I don't think you guys have the $64,000 laying around. That shows how fucking illiterate this fucking monkey is. This fucking filthy pedophile hick is. The motherfucker doesn't know how to read. We said it was worth $64,000, you jackass. We never said anything about paying you. Learn to read, motherfucker. It's a reading rainbow. LeVar Burton couldn't fix his stupid ass.
He can't even read the terms and conditions about banging people who are closer to your age range.
Apparently not.
Do you honestly expect this person to read nonsense? The only thing this guy reads is the numbers on his view count. And I guarantee you, as this kind of thing goes, people like that are never satisfied with what they got. They always want more and more. So it is only a matter of time before he gets the longing for the spotlight and goes and does something incredibly stupid. Or maybe, who knows, maybe this is the timeline where he eventually just vanishes into the ether and we never hear from him again.
I
right?
hope
We're happy with either one, but I prefer the second, so we never had to actually remember this person exists.
Or maybe this will finally be the year. This will finally be the weird timeline where Onision finally gets caught red-handed doing something and is punished to the highest level of the law.
Who knows?
One
Maybe. Both outcomes are good to me, but I'll take either one as long as I don't have to deal with this guy's bullshit again.
For real. If I never have to see this motherfucker again for the rest of my life, it'll be too soon. The other part on there, which he said that it included a public apology. Who was going to be doing the apologizing? Was it us? No. What are we apologizing for? We're inviting him. We were going to make him give a fucking public apology for being a pedophile swamp hick who grooms and sexually harasses and abuses underage teenage girls.
And that's why you know it was never going to happen. Because a person with no sense of accountability can never apologize. For the idea of fathoming that they could be doing or saying something wrong is far beyond their capabilities.
Yeah, no, you're not wrong about that. No, you're not wrong, Angel. At the end of the day, this guy he's too in love with himself. He's too enraptured in the idea of his own fucking unearned greatness that he fucking thinks he can slither away into the shadows. See, here's the thing. The whole desire to want him to just slink away into the shadows, into the night, and just slink away into the darkness of obscurity, never to be seen again. That would be absolutely wonderful if it would work on a guy like him, because this motherfucker wants, in a way, he wants to be in the shadows, because then people don't scrutinize him. He wants both to be public and to be private at the same time. And he wants them both to such high extremes that he can't consolidate the two desires. Like, okay, us three, we're three internet assholes, we're the Ravens flock. We clearly have private lives of our own, and that's a whole other thing. But we don't make our private lives part of our public lives or part of the public imaging of what we do with our channel. We talk about news stuff. We talk about geek culture. We talk about conventions. Zay talks about pro wrestling. Angel talks about video gaming. I talk about bullshit. We discuss stuff that's relevant, right? The only reason
I just talk about bullshit, he said.
No, I said I talk about bullshit.
Don't undersell your contributions, man. You also fiddle with all of the computer bullshit.
Yeah, true. It's literally like I'm over here like trying to get all this shit fired up 20 minutes before we even went on air.
You're doing a great job, Juan. All right.
Thanks. No, like that. Thank you, guys. Like that's not even the point. The point I'm making is we have private stuff in our lives that we don't put out because that stuff is private. If there is anyone who watches who's a friend of ours or who is a close supporter that we want to have an interaction with, then we can have an interaction with them. And if we want to do it on YouTube or on social media, we'll do it there. But if we want it in our private lives, we'll do it over there, and we'll keep it private because this ain't nobody's business. This motherfucker made his private life his public life, and then is shocked Pikachu face emoji when people realize, oh shit, you're an asshole in your private life.
Turns out that if you air all your unwashed dirty laundry, people will tell you that it fucking stinks. Listen, bro, I don't care how much artistic matter you put in your boxers. Those are still some pretty fucking big skid marks,
Yeah, definitely.
I'm serious. I'm seriously like just. I'm seriously like I held onto a shocked Pikachu face there for a solid fucking 10 seconds. Like this guy. Fucking quadratic equations running through his head and he can't consolidate them.
Fucking math, and then you see like a little image of the hamster just falling off the wheel, exhausted.
Mm-hmm. It tries to crawl up to the water bottle, but it's empty, so it just keels over. That's his fucking brain because he can't consolidate his desires. He wants everything. He wants everything to be all about him, and yet when we make shit about him, when people talk about him, he gets pissed off. He gets defensive. Like, oh, you don't have any proof. That's all just hearsay. Oh, that's just my haters and my accusers. That's all. Oh, if they had real proof, they would have gone to the police. Like, motherfucker. Do you have any idea how tough it is for any girl to be believed these days? Even with overwhelming evidence? Motherfucker.
You have to be caught in the act sometimes so people will believe you.
And he tries to champion himself like, oh, he's such a supporter of women. He wants people to be so like enthralled by how much and how loving he is about supporting females. And he tries to claim that like two things, which is stupid. The first is like he tries to be such a champion for feminism and for women's rights and stuff, but because when he was younger, he tried to make a guide on how to avoid being raped. By saying like, oh, well, a rapist isn't going to like you if you crap yourself and piss yourself, so you have to learn to piss on command when they're
this
in
son
the
of a bitch is the last person who's giving you any life advice.
Exactly.
See, no, because he doesn't want you to remember that the best life advice is learn to shoot a gun. The rapist doesn't like you when you shit yourself. They'll like you even less when you put several piles of lead into their testicles. That'd
be fun. Regrettably, of course, we do not. Hang on, I have to do an official disclaimer. We're an hour into the show, and I'm only now doing an official disclaimer. We here at the Ravens Flock, we here at the Ravens Flock do not condone violence against anyone who is discussed on this show. Please do not act out in violent actions against this person in our name.
Indeed.
Please
that
do
being
not.
said, I severely condone self-defense as a form of violence. In fact, I eagerly cheer for it. It's hilarious.
Yes, self-defense. However, if this motherfucker does come at you, if you happen to be in fucking in Washington State, in Pierce County, where this motherfucker resides, and if you happen to see him in the dead of night or out in public, and if he's harassing you or if he's doing something that is violating your personal space or your personal freedom, we wholeheartedly condone you defending yourself to whatever extreme you find fit.
After all, if they fuck around,
they'll
find
out.
Find out.
Oh yeah, no, and of course, like we discussed all this stuff, and of course, I probably ought to put it in the description over here once we're done with the show. There is a trigger warning for this show because we are discussing sexual violence, sexual abuse. We're discussing potential rape.
1 fucking hour into
1 hour into thing. Normally, I'm really good at these disclaimers, but I haven't done an episode of the Black Files in a long time. Okay, I'm a little rusty.
Them to death.
I'm a little rusty.
It's okay.
Somebody get me some WD-40, please.
Fucking plows into the school bus and go. This man plows into the school bus in his car at 90 miles an hour, gets out, goes home, does an insurance claim, and then goes, I should have worn my glasses before I ran that red light.
No, worse. After plowing it into the school bus into the building, it actually goes back to the building. It's closed. There's a crime scene, tape all over. People are being wheeled out, and he walks in right where his car was. Is everybody okay? Anybody have insurance?
I forgot my phone. I left it in the driver's seat. I'm sorry.
Here we go. Thank you. Hey, why does it have
Just
evidence on the bag? Just walks. Okay, no, but seriously, we do talk about this heavy stuff on the Black Files. It's not for the faint of heart. I'm sorry I didn't put a trigger warning sooner, but like I said, I'm out of practice. I'll do better next time. I apologize.
To be fair, though, the moment you mentioned Onision at the very start, that should have been all the trigger warning that you need. Whoever knew him knew better. Whoever didn't now does. And I'd like to think
Sadly.
that is in itself a service to humanity that has to be done.
Sadly, yes. And as much as it pains me, while this motherfucker thrives on fame and notoriety and like all that shit, spreading his name in this context, I consider that a fucking public service. Because we are alerting the public, the YouTube community. We're alerting people to a hazardous motherfucker. I'm over here, I'm gesturing to, because I've got the Zoom chat, I've got the Zoom video window on the lower left-hand corner over here where Angel and his A pop up, and I'm gesturing over here. I don't mean these guys. I mean the motherfucker Greg Onision over here. I want to get the chat real quick. Let me see over here. Let's see here. Rodhound, to be 100% transparent, I didn't know who this was before seeing this. I don't want to click on any of his channels to support that. Now you made me aware he's a creep. Ooh. Jolene clapping, amazing Juan. Thank you again when I was discussing how I owned him. Noro Taka saying beautiful. Thank you for that. Jolene said nope. Nora says turn on that heaven's lights towards that onion for 5 minutes until it's golden nasty brown. Ha. I fucking wish. Yeah, no.
But blooming onions are delicious, unlike this man. This man is an insult to onions, and I don't even like onions. Think about that for a second.
Which is funny because we had that avocado salad, last week after the show ended, which was tasting it had red onion in it.
It was pretty fucking good. Because when it's well marinated, it remains crunchy without like the weird aftertaste that makes me go.
Yeah, dude.
It's a complicated feeling.
I'm glad
especially
you like
when you put it on burgers, like when you put diced onions on burgers, like that you get that sweet taste.
You don't want diced onion. You want the onion ring. You want it sliced. So you want a ring of onion on it. That's I
want the nice fresh crunch without the weird aftertaste. The original. I had a bad experience with onions when I was a child. For our beloved listeners, when I was a young wee lad with no common sense, before I became a grown ass man with no common sense, I once grabbed a whole ass onion and just ate the whole thing raw in a fit of ravenous hunger. My stomach was not very happy with me that day.
Understandable. However,
Wow.
I also understand.
It
the
was still
circumstance of
better
it.
than having to deal with Onision's bullshit, though.
100 million
I would eat
times
another
percent.
raw onion rather than speak with this person in person.
No, there wouldn't be any words exchanged. I would simply, "Oh, hey, aren't you Onision?" He'd probably be like, yeah. Like, do you want?" Like, he would probably try to hide himself. Really, because I got something for you, and things might happen. I'll leave it at that. Also, on the chat, Jolene says, "You guys are an inspiration to the witchy women. How y'all work in your group." Heart emoji. Thank you.
Ah,
Well, thank you so much.
Yeah,
I really
Jolene is-
appreciate that.
Yeah, Jolene and other ladies out of the Popcorn Planet and Steph the Alternate community, they came together and formed their own channel called The Witchy Women. I'm going to go ahead.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and I'm actually going to see if I can get the link for it. I'm going to go ahead and share that, folks.
Feels nice to know that we have earned the admiration of the Wiccan cycles. Back in the day, all they did was curse the shit out of me.
Oh yeah, no,
You really have
absolutely.
come a long way.
And I'm really happy, and I really do appreciate that we have that ability to inspire others to make their own platform and do their and let their creativity like expand on themselves, you know?
And we are thankful to you ladies for joining up over here. Give me a few moments over here. I'm actually going to go ahead and share this on the chat. They're only at 61 subscribers. They only just got started. For those of you who are watching, anyone watching on the replay or on the live chat, go ahead and subscribe to the Witchy Women. Get them to 100 subscribers so they can at least have a custom URL that is fitting of
Give them
these
some
fine
love, for they
ladies.
deserve
Absolutely.
so.
You bet your ass I'm going to subscribe. I'm going to check them out.
All right, I'm going to go ahead and
Send
put
me
that
the
on.
link so I can do so myself later.
Post a link in the chat if you can one.
That's what I'm doing right now. Give me just a moment over here. There it is.
And then
Go ahead.
Of course, and then if Angel doesn't have if Angel's not watching the YouTube stream, you could just send him the link separately.
Yeah, I'll send it
an
to him
email.
after. All right, let's see. Rodhound, don't forget trigger warning, LOL, haha. It's okay. I'm a true crime subscriber. I'm just reminding in case someone is worried. Could a petition be started to raise awareness that he's inappropriate for YouTube and or targeting kids? Good question about that. There's been multiple petitions put up through social media under the under the hashtag of deplatform predators. When this came up, while Onision was front and center and was the subject of the Investigation Discovery documentary, the deplatform predators movement was what was trying to get him the fuck off. And so when he was demonetized out of YouTube, we took that breadcrumb for what it was. It was a tasty breadcrumb. It was several of them, but we wanted the whole fucking slice. We want him
took all we
gone.
could get at the time.
But obviously it's not enough because he's out learning his fucking lesson because he's over here trying to get his fucking channel to game up on the algorithm to try to work on getting a children's audience now because he's a pathetic sack of shit like that. Jolene over here is saying, woo woo, we are super little, but we are a group, and I love how y'all work together. It's great. Thank you, Juan. Thank you, guys. And Rodhound joined over there. Thank you, Rodhound, for subscribing to The Witchy Women. Spread the word. Let folks know about what these ladies are about, and let them know how they can enrich their lives by subscribing to The Witchy Women. Yeah.
Indeed. Indeed.
I like to help when I can. No,
but
truthfully,
that being said, you know something? The comment that the guy posted, and you mentioned that there have been many petitions posted. I feel like
it was Rodhound, yeah.
I feel like no. Here's the thing. I don't think that it's a wasted effort. I think the more petitions we put out, the more we voice this stuff, the more it'll. Yeah, you're shaking your head. You're disagreeing with me already.
I'm listening. I'm shaking my head because I've heard this before. Not from you, but I've heard this argument. But please, I'm sorry for interrupting.
Okay, my whole argument is the more noise is made, the more people will be aware, and that will eventually, that kind of noise will eventually get escalated.
Oh, well, I believe that he's referring to the act of good old-fashioned raising awareness. It is true that action cannot be taken, but we can at least send our word out there to somebody who will know about this person and take the appropriate precautionary measures. Then that means that we are at least doing something, even if it means letting the world know such an unpleasant individual around. Even if it means that action cannot yet be taken, as long as people know they can, if nothing else, be prepared and be careful. So yeah, sometimes all we can do is wave the flag and shout, but if at least one person can hear us out, then I like to think that we are in some way, shape, or form helping.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's the best.
Because the other option is just vigilantism and murder, and I'm pretty sure those are still illegal.
Yeah, like we're not officers of the law, nor are we freaking bounty hunters.
No, and
But
nor
we could
are
be
we
punishers.
nor are we vigilantes. Sadly, vigilantism is frowned upon in civil.
I am nowhere near
Western
cool enough
civilization.
to be Spider-Man. Sorry.
or the Punisher, or Moon Knight.
No, I mean, I could be the Punisher. I mean, we had one in Florida once. It was pretty cool.
Oh yeah, no, Thomas Jane. He made an excellent Punisher.
He made that man shit himself with a popsicle. It was wonderful.
It was
beautiful. Great.
It was corny, but it was beautiful.
That part was really, really good. People are honestly, I'm just gonna say it, people are unnecessarily harsh with that movie. Sure, it wasn't as bloody or as brutal as Punisher Warzone, which was in of itself a pretty good movie. But I don't know, it felt like it had a little charm to it, you know?
It had,
and I'm not saying that because I'm in Florida and I recognize like 80% of the scenario where the movie was filmed. Shut up. I was not doing the Leonardo DiCaprio pointing at the screen.
Up.
They did the thing.
Up. That. Yep. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Yeah, no.
Yeah.
Like
whatever.
The thing
was
is
a fun movie, and Frank was pretty cool.
The thing is that Punisher movie, you know, the Thomas Jane, John Travolta one, like that one felt more like okay, it's a vigilante revenge story, like a Grindhouse style, like Quentin Tarantino almost, but not with Tarantino's foot fetish or weird talking dialogue stuff going on. But it had, like, when he went into action, it was surgical. Like, it wasn't a big bloody mess. Like, he's tearing people apart limb from limb. It's no.
It wasn't a Grindhouse.
Like, he started like, okay, all the enemies are in this floor. They just lowered a little elevator with champagne. I'm gonna put a bomb inside the champagne bucket so that when they lift the bottle, it'll blow up. That'll take out half of those guys. That'll make my job easier. And so he goes in after that. After it goes,
cheers, motherfucker.
He goes in after that. He slices one dude's throat. He goes in, pop. He double taps every one of these guys. The only reason why he abandons his bulletproof vest is because a dude hits him with a shotgun, which somehow he bodies that perfectly. Real quick on the chat, Pamela.
Okay. He just parried it with his chest hairs.
No, with the bulletproof vest. No, afterwards he wasn't shot at. Pamela also on the chat.
Yeah, he was just flexing on it.
Part of the Witchy Women. Hey, Juan, thank you so much. You guys rock. Best peeps there is. Thank you. I was sleeping, but I wanted to come say hello. Love you guys. Thank you, Juan, for the love. Heart emojis.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. Yeah, no problem.
Thank you so much. We appreciate the attention.
Of course, she's part of the Witchy Women as well. And Nora subscribed
now I gotta
here.
be on my best behavior.
Caroline Lestrega, thanks for the love for us, Juan. Caroline, are you also one of the Witchy Women as well? All three of y'all? Yes.
Otherwise, she wouldn't be commenting.
Yeah, that's a good point. All right, yeah, so Pamela, A.K.
we got
Raven,
the witch coven looking at us now. We have to be on our best behavior.
Oh, no. These witches are on our side. Don't forget, ravens are also considered familiars. So we're the Ravens flock. We're familiars to the witchy women.
You're welcome.
But is it weird that we predate them? Is that odd? No, I guess not, because...
No, it's not.
Really. Witches come in all shapes and sizes.
No. Juan Angel, it was all by design.
We planned it this way long ago.
It has been done so according to our design.
What's our design? Yes. Hold on, I left that crayon somewhere.
The sign cut to a bunch of like scrunched up paper mache and fucking drawings on the wall.
I actually want to piggyback what Angels commented about that one scene in the Tampa Punisher, where he fought the guy with the shotgun. I like the part where he stabs his hand through his butt and the guy goes, oh!
And then immediately he gets the knife and just janks it up the soft palate of his jaw. And the knife, like it was surgical vengeance. It wasn't a bloody mayhem gore fest. It was surgical. It was clean cut. Perfect.
John Wick-esque.
Yeah, proto John Wick, if you would.
Yeah. Florida Wick.
Amanda
Wick. Oh God.
He was deprived of his family, and he was deprived of orange juice. Okay, bad jokes. Okay.
He deprived them of his OJ. He deprived them of their lives.
Yeah, no, the reason we went into the whole tangent of the Punisher is because we're not vigilantes. We're not condoning vigilante justice. Although I would say in a hypothetical scenario, in a hypothetical sense, if that was any sort of way legal or authorizable, if there was a way to get away with it and never have to deal with any lawyer or cop or any legal or mortal consequence, yes, I would. I would what? I'll leave that for you to fill in the blank. Yes, I would.
He's just saying would.
So yeah, Juan, how you feeling?
I believe that we have covered everything there is to cover up to this
You feeling good?
point.
Pretty much.
Nice there,
I feel better. I will feel a lot better if we hear that this motherfucker has been arrested or is behind bars or is just gone. I'll feel loads better then.
Well, obviously, I know that you'll feel better when the end result reaches, when we get to the end result. I'm talking about like right now at the moment.
I feel fine.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah, it's a start.
It's the end of the world as we know it, and I feel fine.
Juan, I'm getting us pizza tomorrow.
That'd be nice. Thank you.
Yes.
Yeah.
On the chat real quick, Caroline Lestrega, she did confirm she's one of the witchy women, and Jolene says, we're good witches. So yeah, see, they're on our side. They're the good witches. We're good.
Hang on, I want to read this comment from.
Listen, I knew a good witch once. Then she made a gingerbread house and tried to eat a bunch of kids. I'm not sure if I can throw.
You sure about that? I've heard of a good witch.
This is on probation.
I heard of another good witch. Her name was Wendy, and she was a very nice little witch indeed. Which is odd because she also made friends with Casper the Friendly Ghost. It was played by Hilary Duff.
The only good witch I knew, her name was Kiki, and she had a delivery service.
Oh yeah, no, Kiki, she was an excellent. And of course, there's also Sabrina.
Guys, I know a good witch. Her name was Glinda, and she kicked ass and helped save Ruby a few times.
She was so good that we had to remove her from the show. She was literally too good.
This is us.
We haven't seen her.
Ladies and gentlemen, the fearless leader and founder of the Ravens flock, Jose Casabona, showing his weeb credentials by making a Ruby reference.
Yeah.
Listen,
because
man,
it's too easy to make the
moment. Listen, the moment she was disappeared from the show after season 3, the quality started to go down. Coincidence? I think not.
Also, well, yeah, of course I have to show my weeb credentials because it's too easy to make the references that you guys made.
Excuse me? You don't even know what references I make half the time. I read the obscure shit.
Okay. All right, I see what's up. I hope you'll pardon me. The witchy women actually have they have separate names. They go by Wanda, Shadow, and Raven. So yeah. So like when we in the future, those are their names that we go by, and that's what they use. So yay.
Wanda, Shadow, Raven. Okay, awesome. That's great.
Right on.
You know what? Yeah.
WSR.
I think we're pretty much done as far as this program goes. I just want to let the audience know that we will be at VillaCon this Saturday, Saturday only, which is January 22nd. VillaCon will be taking place over at the where is it at, Juancho? At the Wyndham Resort in Orlando.
How in the hell are you going to try and sign us off when with a convention plug without doing the research on which convention?
Oh my God, don't argue with me like a parent. Just help me out.
See, here's the thing. I have to because I am a parent and also it's a parent.
Local man is dad.
It's at the Doubletree by Hilton Hotel. It's at the Doubletree by Hilton Hotel at the entrance to Universal Orlando in Orlando, Florida, January 21st to the 23rd. A 3-day weekend convention starts this Friday. We're only going to be there this Saturday, though. For a short while, we're going to be there. We're going to say hello. We're going to meet folks. We're going to take photos. We're going to share our experience on it, and we'll be back in Tampa to do our show later that night.
Absolutely, and this is for our local Florida audience, of course, or anybody flying into Florida for the weekend.
Of course. Not a problem. I wasn't actually finished with the chat. Rodhound had a question on here. I believe he said, what about if you call into Dolly Vision, Jimmy? They will be live in an hour or so and talk about it to raise more awareness. Fellow YouTubers will share that to help, I am very sure. Do us a favor, and Rodhound, go ahead and reach out to us on Twitter if you're on there. Twitter.com/ravensflock13. All our social media links are in the description here. Send us the link to that guy. Maybe I'll hop in because I'm an insomniac, so I'm not sure. Nora was saying, Juan, Angel, timeout, and boys, go stand in the corner when we were talking about stuff in the Punisher. Joe,
don't worry, I'm gonna stand in the bed when I fall asleep in the next 5 minutes.
Shadow was saying, Angel, your voice saves you. Just saying.
Oh, yes, the amount of shit I get away with saying because my voice is fantastic.
And
I should be in jail right now.
And Wanda was saying, dad jokes. Apparent. Something that Onision is not because he's shit at that. Anyway, and Jolene says, yes, when you come over to the channel, let us know we sent you. Thank you so much for the support. I love you guys. Ha, 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 ha. Thank you. Yep. No. Yeah, no. What do you call it? Shadow. Love you tons. We'll keep in touch on there. We keep in touch on the Popcorn Planet mods chat because we're the mod squad. What up, G Money Grip? But yes, as Jose was saying, we are going to be at VillaCon this Saturday. If you're going to
DoubleTree Hotel in front of the entrance of Universal Orlando. Boom! I remembered it this time.
You're welcome.
Congrats.
Yep, and we're going to go ahead and wrap up on this end. Jose, you gave the plug for us. I suppose you're also going to plug your show, which is tomorrow night. Same time,
I wasn't
10
going
p.m.
to do that, but sure, I'll plug it. Yes, tomorrow night, another edition of Wrestle Rewind, where I discuss highlights and matches from WWE NXT 2.0, which is on Tuesday nights and on the USA Network, AEW Dynamite, which is on Wednesday nights on TBS, and Impact Wrestling, which is on Thursday nights on Access TV. And I'm going to tell you right now, I'm setting the tone right now, Juan. I'm not going to be happy. I'm really not going to be happy. I'm going to leave it at that. I don't want to give away why I'm not going to be happy. I've talked to you before in private. I spoke to Angel about it in private. I am not going to be happy about doing this review.
Let's just say mistakes were made, and we're pointing all of them out.
Countless of them.
All right. Angel, anything you want to say or plug before we wrap up?
No, at this point, I am pretty much good to go. Please, to our other listeners, continue following us and listening to our shows. We sincerely hope that you guys like what you see and what you hear. And we will, of course, always accept any constructive criticism, unless we don't like you, in which case, go fuck yourself. I'm just kidding. We love you anyways. Make sure to let us know exactly what you think, what you want to hear next time, and what you want us to talk about. We always look into more, what's the word I'm looking for here?
We're always looking for more engagement.
I always appreciate it.
Always
more engagement, always more recommendations. And know that every second that you take of your day to listen to us is another day, a second that you make my day just a little better. So do it for me, because you're not going to do it for anyone else.
He's not wrong.
Yeah. All right. I think that's pretty much it. Juan, you can go ahead and plug us away.
All right. Thank you very much, everybody. Thank you, Angel. Thank you, Jose. And thank you, viewers and participants on the live chat, for joining us on this week's edition of The Black Files, our uncensored podcast hosted by yours truly, Juan Arauz. This program is far more sporadic. Normally, we come on Wednesday nights at 10 p.m. If there's another topic, if there's something else more that's pressing or prescient that I gotta talk about, I'll come right back on it next week. If not, keep your eyes and ears open, because when the Black Files are opened up, when the Black Files are opened up, when we grant you clearance to them, you don't want to miss it. I want to thank you again, and we invite you, of course, to continue to follow us on Facebook.com/TheRavensFlock. Twitter.com/RavensFlock13, Instagram.com/TheRavensFlockOnline, Twitch.tv/TheRavensFlockOnline, and of course, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and the notification bell right here on our flagship platform, YouTube.com/TheRavensFlock, humble home of the Black Files, Los Amigos Play, Wrestle Rewind, and the Ravens Flock. Ladies, gentlemen, everybody in between, for Jose Casabona, for Angel Mendez, this has been Juan Arauz. This has been The Black Files, and we are out.